Well, I'm here on Sunrise Circle Road in Kilsyth, West Virginia, just down the street from my house. It's only like 35 degrees out here, but it feels pretty good now the wind quit blowing. That house has been abandoned for years. I think after the March 13th, 2010 flood, the family that lived there moved out and never came back. There's a couple houses here that's bought out and demolished by the flood control, like some older people live there. I think about 90% of people that lived down here back then, after that, was elderly people 60 and above that lived in this area, and they were glad to get out of the area because they were getting to the point where it's hard for them to take care of the homes and stuff. Now, before my time, there's a lot of houses on this side all the way up through here. It's like 5 or 6 more houses. I think that one where that guy was walking on his car is the only house in Sunrise Circle Road that still has anybody living in it. There's only 2 houses left on Sunrise Circle Road, which that's the road I'm on now. There's that abandoned one I pointed out at the beginning of the video here, and then one next to it, which I think the family in the house next to it wants their house in the video, so. I have a lot of cars that come through here for one house. Most of these in this stretch have been gone since before I was born. I think there was one more next to that yellow one that was bought out and tore down. There's like 5 more. I see some old photos taken from over here. I know there's one house that's set here, I think in the mid-90s, I was like going into 6th grade, that it burnt down. I think the family pretty much lost everything they owned when the house burnt down. And then they cleaned it up. But then there's this vacant lot here next to it. It's been that way as long as I can remember. Gotta be careful, I don't slip and fall here. I'm just glad we're having a nice, cold, snowy winter. Well, it's not been a huge amount of snow, but a lot colder and snowier than usual. Recent years has been warmer than usual. I know there's 2 houses here that's bought out for the flood control too. Part of the Dunloup Creek watershed. Then there's one over here, and there's some kind of grass here. So I gotta just walk around the floodplain and Kilsyth. That's the one sad thing about West Virginia here. I love living here, but I think about 60% of the population's elderly. We're one of the states. I don't know if we're number 1 on this when it comes to states with the highest elderly population. I'm young and there's not a huge amount of people around my age left around here anymore. Well, point out something else, Appalachian Power replaced a bunch of poles. They replaced that pole recently, and they replaced this one pole here, but then the other pole's not that old. They put that reducer station here of its transformers. All they do is moving away from that and hoping to upgrade the electrical system, put millions of dollars into the electrical system here. A lot of people are starting down, it's something to do with the Boy Scouts on a top secret military base. I can neither confirm or deny the military base thing because there's no way knowing there is a top secret military base here or not. I think as far as I know, it's just a rumor. It's been going on ever since the Boy Scouts of America decided to put their camp here, and now it's considered the Scouts of America. Come think there is some kind of base up there in Glenzine. I know there is some kind of military base, but it's not exactly top secret. I know about it, and a lot of other people that go out to the scout camp know about it. It's not top secret, but at the same time it's not open to the public either. So I can tell you there's something there. It's nothing like what they have at the Greenbrier Hotel, even though there's a rumor going around it's top secret like the Greenbrier Hotel type thing. That's just a funny rumor. I just thought I'd point that out. Get across the road, there's no car. There's an old railroad crossing here, that abandoned rail spot I was following in the earlier video. It goes up to there. I thought that was my neighbor again. That abandoned rail spot. Well, actually that's the abandoned part of the Dunloup Creek branch line. Why is it when I'm filming, when I'm just walking, nobody's here, and I'm filming, there's all kinds of cars in the parking lot, people staring at me. 5 minutes ago I walked down there to start the video, nobody was here. Now there are. I don't know what our Blossom Power Company's doing here. I don't think they're working on the poles today. I don't think I got much more to do, and I'll be done for a few months. I just know they put 3 reducer stations here, which makes no sense. Why they put 3 reducer stations? I remember a bunch of houses still here. Back in September, it flooded again. I filmed this video January 20th, 2021. And I remember all the houses here. I remember back in September, a lot of this being underwater. Yeah. Point that one out too. They got 3 of these big, huge transformer stations. All kinds of stuff for the area where the population's shrinking. It's like a bunch more houses is abandoned. One I thought about buying, they were wanting $12,000 for. Me and Beth first got together. Of course, things didn't work out. We went in separate ways. She seen that house and said no. The one I paid the $25,000 for is a lot better shape than the one for the $12,000. That one had a big hole in the roof and had all kinds of issues with it. It's still sitting there and it's still abandoned. I think one of my friends ended up buying it at a tax sale. This ain't the need to put all this in, all these new poles. They like to they like to cut off the tops of the poles. I'm trying to say that one word. They cut the tops of the poles, so like I said, they cut off the heads of the poles and put the new wires and new poles. And the other utility companies have a tendency not to come and remove the wires. And then the old poles set like that. They're supposed to come and replace more. I figured I'd do a video walking on the floodplain. There was a beautiful old Victorian style house there. Beautiful house with a long porch. It was about demolished. I think that family moved to somewhere in Virginia. A lot of people left the state though. I know the one guy that lived here, Bonnie Perry, he passed away. I think he sold his house, decided to rent an apartment in town, so where he's getting up in years, he decided he didn't want to deal with, and getting health issues, he decided he didn't want to deal with in his own town anymore, so he rented the place, decided to rent a place, then he passed away. A lot of people left the state. I know the James family, they own like multiple houses here. I don't know, I think it's him, his 2 daughters, and his son. They all took off, they all had houses through here, and they all moved to Tennessee. The family lived in this corner house. I don't know what happened to them. I know it's a rental property. I know the next house over the James family owned. I think the next house in that they own too. And they all moved to Tennessee. I remember telling me. I remember one person that lived here. Janice's sister lives here in town. And I think a couple other people still live here in town. Her and Trina still live in town. So that's Paul Knight and his family. They had the 3 houses there. They all 3 still live in town. My cousin and his wife moved down to Fayetteville, which is not a bad area, out Wolf Creek way. I started to buy some land out there at the tax sale. It's supposed to be like 8, I think it's like 8 acres of land with a house on it, but I got the bidding war, somebody and they weren't going back down, so I didn't try. Because I live out Wolf Creek with no driver's license. Something else I want to point out, this is going to be gone soon. This big power tower thing. I don't know when that blossom power is supposed to remove it. I do know that it is scheduled to be removed. All these power lines and that power substation back there, all that's going to be removed soon. I can't say when it's going to be removed because I don't know. All I know is it's going to be removed. Once I get done upgrading the system, they're going to shut down that mini power substation completely. That's been there since 1918. It was put in 1918. They're supposed to come back and replace this pole here in the next week or 2. Hopefully I get it before it falls, because they know it's going to fall. I've got some power for this little thing in to hold it in place. That big metal thing, that's what's holding the pole up. But I think there's a house here at one time too, but I don't remember it. I do remember 2 houses being here. The one that's set right here was, back in the 90s, was demolished. It was abandoned and demolished. That over there just collapsed, and I think the person took a bulldozer or some kind of equipment, farm tractor or something. I can't remember what he took. I went in here, he took some kind of machine, pushed it all in a big pile and left it after it collapsed. I'm gonna walk this abandoned stretch of rail line here. I just recently done a video of this a few days ago. Well, actually I uploaded a video today, but when that long ago I was doing a video of, well, I didn't film this part. I got off just before the bamboo. I don't know how far down here I could walk. Poor little Easter bunny don't have his ears anymore. That little boy don't have his fishing pole anymore. sometime in the mid-90s, the old man that lived here put all this stuff on the tracks after the train quit coming through here. Because sometime in the mid-90s they quit using this stretch right here. CSX did. Of course, I may have to turn around because I don't think I'm going to make it through. I don't know. I'll try to make it through here, but the brush gets too thick and we'll turn around. Brush gets too thick or snow gets too deep. Either or. Well, it's been we did get one day where it's in the 40s. Okay, I'm done. I'm not turning around, but I'm going to take this little path through here. I'm not fighting those thorn bristles, so I'm not going to film that stretch of bed at rail line, so he's now able to do videos on it. Leaving the snow. Going to the no snow. And this will be right in the video because this one house don't like it if I'm filming past their house. I always cut off the videos before and after. I start before the house in the other video when the sunlight was so bright. So just on the other side of this one house, like maybe a few 150, 200 feet from here. So I stopped that video where I stopped filming along the abandoned rail line. I came past the West Virginia Street Bridge and turned off and stopped filming.